Hey guys, Lady Liberty Stacker. Today is Monday, November 23rd, 2020, and I am going to show you how I'm going to season these Stargazer skillets. This one is the 10.5 inch, and this one is the 12 inch. If you didn't catch my unboxing video from November 21st, go back and catch that so you can see how they arrived, how they were packaged. I was very pleased, and now I'm looking forward to seasoning these guys. They're a little bit different than the vintage cast iron. They have a little bit of a rim, so there's areas that you have to make sure you get your seasoning into. And the other thing I'm going to do as well is I'm going to use, I had it upside down. This is the Buzzy Wax. This is the Erie blend. It has, I think it's got it says avocado oil, sunflower oil, and beeswax in it. And you're supposed to season at 500 degrees for an hour. I have a gradual process I use. But we're going to see what the difference is between this on that skillet and then the Easy Beasy. That's all I have left. I have to order more. It comes in a cardboard tube, which is great for storing. It's the Easy Beasy seasoning stick, and this one has beeswax in it. It's got grapeseed oil and avocado oil, and the beeswax acts as an emulsifier, combining everything so it can bond to your cast iron. So at any rate, I'm going to use the Easy Beasy seasoning stick on the larger one, and we're going to get this party going here. I took them back out of the package. They came securely in the oiled because they're BARE. That's why I'm seasoning them. You can either order them BARE or seasoned already, and I like the way I season my skillets, so I figured I'd do it this way. And I am going to wipe the extra oil off of these, and also to season, I have my blue shop towels to wipe off seasoning after it's been applied. I have an extra one on hand. It's just 2 sheets folded together and over 8 ways, so I can use it multiple times per time I use one of these. I've got another backup ready to go, so we'll put those to the side. I've got a heat-resistant oven mitt, which I use up to 450 degrees, I believe it is, which is plenty warm for when we're going to be actually touching the cast iron. It's plenty protective enough. I've got one of these heat-resistive hand gloves I always wear on my left hand, and then, of course, typical, pot holders. They work just fine for the way I season my skillets. So what I'm going to do right now then is I'm just going to take a paper towel and I'm going to wipe off the excess oil on here because I don't want it to discolor my pan when I actually season it. You can tell some of the residue that's coming off. You'll see this when you actually strip cast iron on your own. You're actually taking off a little bit of the flash rust. But sometimes I don't season right away, and I will oil my pans. But you don't want them to sit for too long. I made the mistake of doing that. Now these, the way they oil them and the oil they use is fine because they came out just fine, and extremely smooth surface here on this one. This is the 12 inch. And that one is ready to go, and if you watch my videos, I always do the bottom first. And then this one here, we're going to go ahead and move that one gingerly over here. We're going to do this one and just wipe the oil off. You just don't want it to spot your iron, that's all. Just want it nice and even application. And this one we're going to put the Erie blend of the Buzzy Wax on. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick these in the oven. I'm going to turn the oven on. I like to do it at 250 degrees. It really heats them up. Okay, I got it all down. So we're going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to go ahead and push the bake button. Hit 250. Start. Oops, that's going to slide right off. I don't want that to happen on the 1. And then we're going to preheat the oven. I'm going to go ahead and put these guys in. And this is going to be the Erie one. Put that down there. Because I'm actually giving another coat. Well, these are a little bit bigger with the assist handle, so you got to really angle them in so you can shut your oven. And this is the 12 inch. We're going to give it the top row. You need the whole thing for that one. That's Okay guys, one more quick thing. When the oven finally heated up to 250 degrees, I set the timer for 15 minutes rather, to let the skillets heat up adequately so they could absorb the extra, or the seasoning when we apply the seasoning. One thing is, the extra oil they put on these Stargazers, you gotta really wipe it off extra, because it's kind of smoking right now, which is a little unusual. So, you just gotta make sure that is all taken off. So I will be back when the timer goes off and we're ready to apply our first coat of seasoning on these skillets. Hey guys, the buzzer is going off, and need to take our pan out. This is the first one. The 12 inch, and you can smell that oil they have on it, and we're going to use the Easy Beasy seasoning stick on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and spread it around, and I'm going to wait and do the handle last so I can grip the handle without getting oil all over my hands. I really like the seasoning stick. It's very simple to use. I'm just going to go ahead and spread it all around. Still see it's silvery gray. It's the raw metal. Make sure to get in the handle there. These are really attractive skillets. I like these. I'm going to go ahead and do the handle now, if you can see that. Yeah, a lot of nooks and crannies that your traditional vintage cast iron skillets don't have. I'm probably going to give these 3 coats ultimately, but I'm going to go ahead and put this video up and show you just how to season them. And the other coats, when they're done, I can show you in a future video. But you'll see the difference just from one coat being applied on this. Probably put 3 or 4. I like my skillets to look good. So we're going to go ahead and do the back now, or the bottom. And do all around. All around. Lots of nooks and crannies. I'm going to go ahead and spread it on with our, forgot to tell you that I use an old cotton rag. You can use an old shirt to spread your seasoning. And I also have makeup sponges that I ordered from Amazon that are great for the nooks and crannies. It looks like I'm going to really need to use them here, but you don't want, if you don't cover everything, you're going to get a little bits of rust. You don't want that. You definitely don't want rust on here. Just want to make sure I get it all around. This is a big skillet. Whoops. Looks like I dropped my fuzzy wax. I'll have to go get that. I'm going to turn it on its side. It's getting a little warm, so I use the pot holder. now this rag is infused with the oil, so you can actually use it to complete your handle and such. And before I'm done, let me go ahead and pick up my Buzzy Wax here, lid. I have these makeup sponges. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of rub a little bit on there. Make sure that all of the font is covered. You can use a pastry brush too if that's easier. You can see the residue on your first coat of seasoning. You're always going to see that when you strip new cast iron. And go around the rim here. Just going to make sure you get all the nooks and crannies here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and wipe off the excess seasoning on the back or bottom. You can see the residue coming off. And once you have one coat on, guys, you won't see it so much. Just want to make sure I get it all. And I'm going to put it in face down in the oven. Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but the camera cut off, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one back in the oven. I'm seasoning some other skillets, some final coats on a couple, and then one extra and one that cornbread stuck to and took off some of the seasoning when I used to use Crisco, but they're all in here. And I put this up to 350 degrees. 300 is actually adequate enough, but you want to gradually season your skillets and heat it up. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer here for 15 seconds, or 15 minutes rather, and just let them gradually heat up with the first coat of seasoning on. I put it on, wipe off the excess, and then when I take them out of the oven, this time I'm just going to wipe off anything that pooled to another area of the skillet, just to make sure to wipe off anything excess, so it's even all the way around in all the skillets. And then once I do that, I'm going to put them back in, put the temperature up to 500 degrees and bake them for an hour. And then you let them cool down in the oven for a couple of hours after that, unless you're going to do another round of seasoning. And you can do that probably after they've cooled off, about 45 minutes. And then you can apply the seasoning and start the process over again. Alright, I'll be back to show you wiping off the excess, and that should show you how to season these Stargazers, and I'll show you the finished product when we're all done. Okay, the timer just went off, and we're just going to wipe down the excess here. Just make sure it's all even, Steven. And I use this pastry. It's heat resistant sheet here, and it really helps protect my glass stovetop from any scrapes or anything like that from doing this cast iron. So really baked on there. Wow. Okay, we're going to put it back in the oven. I'm going to do the 10 and a half inch. Starting to get warm. You don't really want to handle these much over 350 degrees. Just want to make sure I got it all. Just a little bit more and I'll wipe it off. Sometimes you do that. Rules are meant to be broken. Just want to make sure it's all even. Sometimes I get out of my normal routine when I do a video seasoning. I don't do a lot of these. I'm going to go ahead and do the back. sure it's just all, any excess wiped down, wiped off. Okay, it's going to be attractive once that's done. That's what it looks like. Okay, I will be back and show you what the first coat looks like. Okay guys, I just finished the wiping off the excess and all the skillets. I reset my oven for 490 degrees. I'm just going to do between 485 and 500. That's fine. You want to bake it for an hour at that temperature. Right now you can see it's down to 308. You know, it cools off when you open the door like that. So you want to make sure it bakes at least an hour at, you know, between 485 and 500 degrees. And so I just wanted to show you that last step. They're in the oven now, and I've got to put the vent hood on to the top one, and right now it's not on that or you wouldn't hear me very well. Alright guys, I will be back to show you photos before and after of what the skillet looks like after the first round, and also if you look between the 10.5 inch and the 12 inch, the difference between the Buzzy Wax on the 10.5 inch and the Easy Beasy seasoning stick on the 12 inch. Alright guys, I'll be back.